So you can probably remember in last week's video, I told you that Annabelle had to go home because of COVID, which kind of left me on my own. So I decided to go it alone down to Porto. It was only a short hop for about 7 hours. It didn't take any more than that, but the day started out beautifully. It was absolutely gorgeous. The weather was beautiful. It was nice and warm. We had about 24 degrees that afternoon, and the views coming out by Arno was just amazing. The fortifications on the peninsula was just amazing. But we had a good little sail. Fortunately, the weather was with me all the way. I didn't even need to put the main out. I sailed most of the way on the Genoa. We had a good, steady 6.5, 7 knots all the way down, as you can well see. Clear blue skies, hardly any cloud at all in the sky. It was a nice, easy, gentle little sail, nothing too exciting. It's a question of just staying just off the wind in order to keep the wind in the sails. You had a game just to keep going. So every now and again you just tack, pushing 10 degrees just to put an extra little bit of wind in the sails. In the sail, should I say, just in the Genoa. Yeah, it was great little sail. Totally enjoyed it. Amazing little run. They do say that there was a lot of fog. To be fair, so far I haven't seen anything on this coast. All the way from Spain, all the way down towards Portugal, and even to where we are now. We had no morning fog, no evening fog. Nothing really. It was all quite nice. It was a little bit chilly. Well, I wouldn't say chilly, it's just like when you're booting along at 6, 7 knots, you've got the wind against you, so yeah, you wrap up warm. Beautiful sunshine. Just checking the speed down, I think we're doing about 7 knots. You can probably hear my boat creaking in the background while I'm doing this over. So this was an amazing part of my journey, and this is where things got quite sentimental. Going into Porto Harbour at night time with all the lights on and the bridge all lit up was just so emotional. I had to confess I nearly shed a tear. It was just a milestone on its own getting there, and that was kind of like my first big sort of destination, even though this was only sort of like the trip. But once we got there, sort of settled down, got onto the mooring for the night, got up the next morning. As you can see, it's nice and flat, calm. Nice little marina actually, it was lovely.
That bridge, love that bridge.
So after a little bit of breakfast and some coffee, decided to go and have a little walk around and do a little bit of exploring. So this is just a little bit further down from the marina, where all the fishing boats are. A lot of very small boats. You don't really see many big boats here. None of your big trawlers. They're all kind of like small individual boats. You probably have 1 or 2 people on them that go out sort of fishing, all very traditional. But yeah, it was a lovely place. So I had a little walk down by the harbour, down the water, along the quayside, all the way down to the bridge. The bridge itself brings back a lot of memories. 26 years ago, I abseiled off this bridge. We climbed up that wall there. This new development wasn't there at the time, and we sort of climbed up that wall to get to the top. And I think that was probably for me the most daunting bit of the whole thing that we did, and that's where we came down from that little parapet there. Yeah, it was quite scary climbing up there, but coming down was like woo. You're just on a rope. It's the first time I'd ever abseiled, and it was like squeaky bum time. But the view is just amazing as you look down the port. Hence the reason where it gets its name from. Porto is where all the port is made further down at the end. And some of the old buildings where this part of the it's obviously not used anymore, everything's moved further downstream, but it's just such a beautiful place. were a lot of local fishermen out there trying to catch something. I didn't actually see anybody catch anything, but they all seemed quite happy, chappies. They all seemed to be doing their little bit. The architecture was just amazing, and there's some weird things around there. Even when you look, the little old tram car that you'll see in a second. You've got all these modern buildings and the modern roads, and behind them is this little tram car just pootling along down the seafront. It was amazing. A lot of these kind of like traditional type tour boats that you see going up down the river. It's taking people on sightseeing tours, which I suppose could actually be really, really nice. But I didn't have time for that. I was only killing time. So here's your little tram. And it's just a bit weird, this trolley bus going up and down. Yeah, I was only there for a short period, literally. It was going to be an overnight to meet my crew hammering to help me do an overnight down to Lisbon. So had a little wander through the streets. Beautiful coloured houses. A lot of them have just got like painted different colours, or they're covered in tiles. Yeah, they were really, really nice. Had a little walk round. Decided to stop and have a little coffee. Obviously, because of COVID, there's not a lot of people around, and I hadn't even noticed the Jack flag hanging on the balcony at the time. But I stopped here. I sat outside on my own. The inside was actually quite busy, but it was just such a nice day, it seemed to waste. So I had a coffee and a Portuguese nata cake, beautiful, and another little walk round. And then I came across this place, which was really weird. You'll see in a sec. Here we go. So this is kind of a laundry on the seafront where people bring in their laundry, and these ladies inside, they're like old-fashioned stone baths, where they just beat the laundry, where they just wash it on stones. And it was just really, really weird. For them, I suppose it was the norm, but there's a lot of pictures on the outside depicting the history of it and what it's all about and how it all works and who they do it for. And I think it's all for the fishermen. I get the impression when they bring along their laundry. If anybody knows any different, yeah, please let me know. But they put all their laundry in, the ladies will wash it, and then they hang it out in public on all these hangers all over the side, and it's just amazing. There you go. They're just all over the quayside, everybody's laundry for the whole world to see. I'm not sure I want my smalls hanging up there for people to see. So we're going into the back into the marina now, back onto the pontoon, go down and see the boat. And there's one boat just past mine, and he had a little cat on board. It was obviously a boat cat, such a nice little cat, looks like a Bengal, and he was lovely, so friendly, and he'd come up and talk to you. You'll see him in a second when we get towards the end of the pontoon. It's actually quite a long pontoon, and obviously because I was only there on an overnight, so I came in and I was right at the very end, which I didn't really mind. It just takes a long time to get there, and you can just about see the little cat in the distance there. He's such a happy little chappy, and he just follows you everywhere. But he never runs away. He always runs back to his boat. Forever to get there. This pontoon was massive, and there's quite a few of these figures. It's a pain in the ass if you forgot something. It's happened to me a couple of times. You have to walk all the way back down there once you got to the other end. But it was a good berth. It was nice and calm. Everybody was happy chappies. They were very, very helpful here. And there he is, look, here's your little man. Really friendly little chap. Just stand there and look at you, and then he's like, okay, look, we're going to go this way. Do you want to come with us? And he's like, yeah, okay, let's go. Come on. It's almost like he wants you to come home with him. It's like, well, this is my boat. Look, I'm going in here. What are you going to do? And he's like, oh, I want to stay. I want to come. Bless his little cotton socks. So his boat was here. And he was like, no, my master's not there. I want a bit of attention. Oh, such a sweetie. But he didn't get on the boat. He stayed there. Bless his little cotton socks. It makes you want to have a little cat of your own. So anyway, this day I decided to fire up this bad boy. The washing machine. Yeah, it's not the most amazing piece of technology, but you know what? It works, and it gets all the dirt out of your clothes. Because you can plug into shore power, just plug it in, and it's like an old-fashioned twin tub, but without the drying bit. And it just goes backwards and forwards and just washes all your clothes. It's really good. You have to rinse them off by hand, but yeah, it does an amazing job.